Jane Eyre. I've read Wuthering Heights. You know. I read. Yeah, I read science fiction. I read Arthur C. Clarke. I read. I read. I read. What did I read from Plato? I have read. I read some of Plato. And I read the English working class with Engel and Marx, Karl Marx. History of the English working class. Yeah, you are, Joe. You are. Anyway, so I've read some stuff. I've read some Tom Sawyer. Good Tom Sawyer. I read Mark Twain. Yeah. My son is much better read than I am. I read Beano magazine. Jane Eyre. Yeah. I read all that. I read all Jane Austen. We read all Jane Austen stuff. But no, I'm not the most well-read person in the world. But it's not like I'm the exact opposite. I mean, I do have 7 years of university. I have to read stuff there. I read Stephen Leacock. The comedian, writer. I read The Grapes of Wrath. I read Burlesque Bucks, The Good Earth. Right. Yeah, I've read a few things in my time. I read The Betsy by Harold Robbins. I read Hugh Lofting's series, Dr. Dolittle. I love that. I read The Rise and Fall, Anthony Gibbons, The Rise and Fall of the Roman Empire. I read that. And a lot of history books I've read. I read John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress, Dante's Inferno. I read that. So, there's, stuff you read. In university you have to read a lot of shit, right? If they give you a book, you gotta read this as part of the assignment. You gotta read it. So, 40's Fantasy Talk describes his own character as much as he dissects others. He's upfront about that. He's not trying to hide anything. But it's funny because he references an older portion, an older chapter in this show. He goes back in time. He keeps going back to the days of Putterman and Stumrock Confusion and who else? Ruth Ann. That's his golden era of the show. And so he's stuck somehow in the past there. I love The Pilgrim's Progress. It's a good book. Oh, I read Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. These are English translations of all this stuff. I've read